Okay, this is the PEX system. I received my rough-in inspection, so I'm okay to go ahead and backfill everything below slab. So I'm just going to run through the system. The main cold water supply will come in either through the attic or below grade under the slab. And I still need to install the conduit for that and stub it up with the rest of these stub-ups. As you can see, everything will be sleeved through where it passes through the concrete. There's some more sleeves. The main supply comes in from the 1-inch line, and then from there it branches off to 2 3/4-inch lines. This first 3/4-inch line services zone 1 mana block. The second 3/4-inch line heads on to zone 2. Now this is the mana block, and all the distribution lines run to the points of service. Right here, this is a loop. This would normally supply cold water to a hot water source, and then the returning hot water would come through here back to the mana block and these distribution lines. But because I don't have that installed, I had to put this loop here so I could get pressure to the hot water distribution lines. This zone 1 mana block distribution lines services the bar sink, the third bathroom tub and shower, third bathroom water closet, and the third bathroom vanity, and there's the hot and cold pair for that. It also services the hot and cold pair for the laundry room, and this single cold water distribution line goes out to the hose bib that will be on the lanai. Now this other hot and cold pair, that's for the prep sink. That's actually sleeved in conduit. This is the kitchen sink. And this is an island sink. The reason I ran this in conduit was because every other point of service, I'd be able, if there's ever a PEX failure, I'd be able to service through the attic and down a wall. However, in this situation, it's an island, which would be impossible to reach without tearing up the floor. So I ran conduit to this location. So if there's ever a PEX failure, I can pull out the failed PEX and put new PEX in the conduit without having to tear up the floor. And you can see that stub up right there. That's the cold water pair on the left hand side. And that's a continuous conduit from the point of service to the kitchen sink. Now obviously this is not how this is going to look when this is completed. This is all just left excess lines, and so I could pressurize the system for the inspection process and the backfill. Now this 3/4-inch line, supply line, goes to zone 2. And here's the junior suite, vanity, shower stub up, and the water closet stub up. And these distribution lines come from zone 2 mana block. And here's the supply, cold water supply for zone 2. And again, I have that loop. This would be the cold water supply to a hot water source, and the returning hot water would then supply hot water to these distribution lines. Now the whole purpose of these multiple zones is to limit the length of the hot water distribution lines, to limit the amount of cold water runoff at the point of service, as well as to shorten the time while you spend waiting for the hot water to arrive. So with these lines as short as possible, and the longest one is only 40 feet, most of them are around 20 foot, so there should only be about a 15-second delay waiting for the hot water. Now these distribution lines here go to the master suite bathroom, and we have the water closet stub up. We have another hose bib, and you can see the system's under pressure right now. And we have the distribution lines for the shower, master suite shower, and then the master suite vanity. That's the larger of the two vanities. And this is the distribution lines to the smaller of the master suite vanities in the tub. Now as you can see, I tried to keep the cold water and the hot water separated. That's best practices. You can bundle the hot water with the hot water with hot water and cold water with cold water. I have them bundled loosely with zip ties. However, as I backfill, I'll cut the zip ties to allow the PEX to expand and contract. PEX will expand and contract with temperature changes. It will expand and contract 1 inch for every 10 degrees of temperature per 100 feet of PEX. So for that reason, they say you need to leave slack in the system, and especially when you're running through framing members, you want slack. In this case, it's in a trench, and they tell you to run it serpentine. However, I don't know, once it's encapsulated in the soil, how it's expected to move around much, but I'm following the best practices. As you can see, everything is either looped or serpentined through the trench. Now at this point, I'll cover everything. I'll cover all the tubing with clean sand. That's to prevent any of the sharps or concrete bits or anything like that that may be mixed in the backfill material coming in contact with the PEX and possibly causing an abrasion or a puncture and a failure in the future. And so that is the PEX distribution system ready for backfill.